Hello and welcome to episode 86 of Xbox Tavern, Xpods Tavern. I am your host, Daniel, and joining me this evening on this beautiful, glorious, sweaty as bollocks Sunday is Scottish Gruff Ross.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Sweating my nads off,
to
put it politely.
You need to shift my camera just ever so slightly.
I'm going to.
Thank you, because you can't see me.
You can't see me?
Yeah. As you can tell, unfortunately, or fortunately, special guest Pete is getting married, and we've got Jay, Ian, and Graham all there at the wedding. They looked very dapper.
They did.
I would suggest one or two of them put some sun cream on, because I imagine they're going to have a very, very red face.
Yes.
So enjoy that, gentlemen, and congratulations to Pete.
Congratulations, bud.
Yep. It's all downhill from now on. Right, so let's get into the news. The topic of the week. Games with Gold is officially ditching Xbox 360 games. This is a news story from Pure Xbox. Essentially, what it is from October the 1st, 2022, the monthly games provided on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate as well as Xbox Live Gold will no longer be having Xbox 360 titles. So before you all draw your breath and get out your pitchforks and go a bit doolally, from this date, if you have redeemed any Games with Gold or Xbox 360 title during that period, you get to keep your games regardless of whether you have the subscription or not. Ross,
it's not pulling on Ubisoft.
Oh yeah, they've not pulled the rug on you and gone, you're not having them tough. But what do you think about kind of the Games with Gold and Xbox 360 games not go? Should I read the quote? Actually, I should read the quote, shouldn't I?
See what the pros say first.
Yeah, right. So beginning October 1st, 2022, the monthly games provided to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and Xbox Live Gold members via Games with Gold will no longer include Xbox 360 titles. We have reached the limit of our ability to bring Xbox 360 games to catalog. However, Games with Gold will continue to include exciting Xbox One titles and exclusive savings each month. This will not impact any Xbox 360 games that you have downloaded before October 2022. Any Xbox 360 titles you redeemed via Games with Gold before that time are yours to keep on your Xbox account, regardless of whether you continue your subscription. Thank you for being a member or a loyal member. Yeah. So what do you think of that statement?
Yeah, I don't get why people were getting so worried about it. It wasn't confusion to say anything along the lines of you were maybe going to lose the games that you'd already downloaded. I think people look at it and go, so they're taking away something, therefore it's no as good value for money. But if they end up dropping, say they change it and they don't have 4 games anymore, they only have 3, and 2 of them are middle sort of tier games and one of them is an indie game, does that make up for value? So we're not saying you're going to get like a AAA game, but say you get 2 solid games and then 1 lesser known game. Why do you feel that's less just because you're getting 1 less game? Did you play all 4 of the games that came out with Games with Gold beforehand when they were subpar? Probably not. So there was usually one, maybe two games that were on Games with Gold that you really wanted to pick up and play. If this is going to mean that you get better quality of games, I don't see why it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they shift in October. So whether they go to still having 4 games, I think October's rendition of Games with Gold, I imagine, will be really good only because of
Yeah, they
they've
need to.
dropped-
Yeah.
Exactly. However, focus could now be on hopefully better Game Pass games, more Game Pass games. There's also the point of that they can't kind of license any more Xbox 360 games. So I know there were certain games that people wanted, but however, with licensing and everything else, they could not. Yeah, they couldn't bring them to pass. So I mean, I'm quite happy not to see another. Trying to think of one that's always been in there. Another Xbox 360 game that we've seen time and time again. Essentially.
Yeah, because there was one this month that's already been on it, isn't there? I can't remember what the Games with Gold is for this month, but one of them's already been part of it.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling down now just to see. I think, is it Architect? No, it's not Architect.
Thrillville. Thrillville. I couldn't remember if it was Thrillville or Torchlight had already been on it.
But yeah, so hopefully we're going to see bigger, better things. I'd rather them focus on Game Pass. I am a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, so I would like to see better games from that, but we'll wait and see what happens.
Game Pass is the future. Games with Gold is a nice little thank you, as they say at the end of that message. Thank you for your loyal support. That's what Games with Gold is. It's just a nice wee monthly treat that you get something for nothing.
Yeah, it's a shame that when the new console came out, they couldn't package it differently and then kind of lose Xbox Gold. For those who are just Xbox Gold members, I highly suggest you try Game Pass. I mean, at the moment there's 600 and something odd games.
So what do you pay? £3 extra a month?
So it's I think it's $10.99 or it might be $12.99. I can't quite. I'll find out soon because my subscription
is it Ultimate.
Ultimate.
Yeah. Ultimate's $11.99 a month. How much is just Gold?
Oh, Gold, no idea.
$7.99, is it not?
I think it's not that much more, but for the amount of games you get.
So £4 extra a month, £36 for the year. You have to find one game in Game Pass that you put 30 hours in it. You've paid for your subscription.
So that way you get all the first party stuff. And yes, I know people are going to argue, I don't want that. I don't want this.
There isn't any first party stuff.
There are plenty of games in there for you to try. Yeah. 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shall we rock on to the next news story?
Some good stuff.
So, I quite enjoyed that rock on part. So Rockstar supposedly cancelled. Yes, thank you. GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption remasters. So, another story from Pure Xbox. It's a tweet from Tez2, and he says, as per a reliable source with clear accuracy on Rockstar plans, remasters of GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption 1 were on the table a few years ago, but Rockstar chose not to proceed with the projects in mind. The poor reception of the trilogy might be a reason behind that decision. Now, the trilogy for Red Dead only came out, it was this year, wasn't it? No.
Yes.
Yeah, beginning of this year. So the timeline on this is a little bit skew-whiff. However, this could be true and accurate. You know, they could have had the thoughts on the plan and deciding after the poor reception of the GTA trilogy, then shelved plans and stopped kind of moving forward. I would imagine the trilogy was a kind of a tester just to see how well they did and how well. I can't think of the company that did the remaster, how well they did. Because I believe they were the ones that were going to kind of proceed and do these remasters and let let Rockstar continue with GTA 6.
It's not a company that we usually hold in particularly high regard, but Kotaku have came out and said that per their sources, the reason for shelving it was it was because of the trilogy. It was because that had failed so spectacularly. They decided it wasn't worth it, and we'll just focus on GTA 6.
Yeah.
So
I kind of it kind of all aligns. As much as the timelines are a little bit skew with, I would imagine they've probably shelved it halfway through. Well, probably more than halfway through these games. But we could have got remasters of GTA 4 and Red Dead Online.
I'm not particularly bothered with the Red Dead, but GTA 4 remake would have been fucking lovely.
Yes. I'm not too fast. Playing Red Dead again, I wouldn't have minded. However, after the frustrations of Red Dead 2 and all that bloody horse riding, I can't quite remember how much riding there was. And if there's anything like on Red Dead 2, then yeah, I'm like done. Not interested. Don't want to know. Trying to think, I'm going to pick one more news story because I feel they're all a bit blah.
It was a slow week for news this week.
Yeah, it seemed like it went quite quickly, and then all of a sudden it was just a bit iffy and bitty. Do you remember a game called Bright Memory?
That was that one person made the full thing game, didn't it?
I believe so, and it looked pretty good.
It looked fucking incredible
for it, and then we didn't hear anything about it for a while.
No, I think I remember reading something about this as well. The length of the game had a lot of people raging, and it's like, lads, it's one guy made this game. It's not going to be a 90-hour fucking grind.
Yeah, I am more the merrier for shorter experiences.
Yeah,
my life after you get to a certain age. I think children, work, and all the other bits and bobs to it, you can't be having big, huge, long games. It's far too much. But,
I mean, the spec that the game's running at is like, considering the size of the, obviously we're saying about one person making it, is incredible, and it looks like worth the time to just jump into.
Yeah, I'm going to go on the tweet that's been tweeted out. So it says, Bright Memory Infinite Xbox Series X and S launches on the 21st of the 7th, 2022. I think if you pre-order, you get 5 exclusive weapon skins added for Xbox. If you own Xbox Bright Memory, you'll get 20% off. That doesn't make sense. If you own Xbox...
The Infinite Edition's different to Bright Memory.
Yeah, okay. So if you own Bright Memory, you'll get 20% off Infinite, is the way I'm understanding that. Right. And then we'll talk about specs. Supports 4K plus 60 frames per second quality mode, ray tracing at 60 frames per second, performance mode, 120 FPS on Series X, 2K plus 60 frames per second on Series S. That is some hunk of game, considering this is one man. And launches within, what are we looking at now? It's the
3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Yeah, not that long.
2 weeks, less than 2 weeks.
So this should be a very interesting take, and I'm quite excited to try it out. And I believe wasn't it Game Pass?
I can't remember. It looks like the trailer for it and the stills look fantastic. I think when I first seen it in because was that not the one where it was almost like it was in a hurricane or a storm type idea, running and gunning through. It looked incredible.
But yeah, so that is coming. Very exciting. Not long to wait. I'm quite excited. Are you gonna jump in and try this one?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Fun? I think it looks like even just so much for just to see how these sort of games run, like coming out at like 4K 60, 120 in a performance mode, just to see how smooth it looks. Hopefully, this is what the next generation of gaming is going to be. So I want to see more games that start at 4K 60. Games like Valhalla, the big kick up was 4K 30. And you can get away with it in games where it's more story based. But games like this, 4K 60 needs to become the normal, or 1080 120. Faster refresh, more frames per second, instead of worrying about just the resolution. So it's nice seeing games working towards this 120. Borderlands 3 done this and brought out a 120 frames per second mode, and it's it's not necessary in a single player game, but it's just a nice wee touch. The more frames, just it plays so much nicer. So
Yeah, no,
hopefully,
it will be exciting seeing, as you say, if this all of a sudden becomes the
the norm.
just the norm. Yeah, this is the kind of, you draw the line. This is where we should be starting.
Yeah.
And all the games go forward. It is going to be a very, very exciting time for gaming. I do believe we've got one more time, or one more story in us. Just looking at the time, I don't know whether you saw this, but Aaron Greenberg tweeted out to say there are a lot more unannounced Xbox games in the works.
I had to laugh at this story. So you have bought 600 studios. I should fucking hope there was a lot more games.
Well, yeah, you know, what was it? It was meant to be like 20 studios by 2020.
Yeah, I mean,
they're inundated in studios at the moment.
Yeah, I think if you look at the stuff that was announced at the last at the showcase, like a lot of the stuff we expected to see, just in the little like first party roadmap. So we've seen where I'm trying to get to where we were up to in regards to, so As Dust Falls, we had seen the full release of Grounded. Pentiment, we had seen Redfall, we know about, Forza, Starfield, Minecraft Legends, but then after that, you've got Ara, History Untold, Deathloop's finally coming to Xbox, which fucking really annoys me, that one. Ghostwire Tokyo,
looking forward to that.
That's going to be good. Avowed, which is meant to be a load of hype behind that and should be amazing. Senua's Saga, follow-up to one of Dan's.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see any of that. So that must be further.
I'm thinking that's like summer 2023, or maybe like Q3.
Yeah.
Not the holidays, because I think they'll save that. Because you've got like Contraband, Perfect Dark, State of Decay, Everwild, Outer Worlds 2, and that's just what's on the first party roadmap. There's going to be other things, which when you're going into like way ahead, you've got Project Mara, Fable, New Gears that we're waiting on, Elder Scrolls, whenever the hell they're going to drop that after Starfield comes out. Fucking Starfall.
Yeah. Love it. Starfall. Love the Starfall.
What's Starfall? That's another one I've came up with. Fucking Redfall and Starfall mixed. Fucking. Yeah. That's me got StarCraft, Starfield, and Starfall. And then the game from Kojima as well. So.
Yeah,
they've got
you mention indie in there as well. Indiana Jones at some point.
Yeah, so that's just what they've got on the roadmap just now. That's not anything that because there's games there that we hadn't heard anything about that they're saying is coming in the next year. Games like As Dust Falls, Pentiment, Minecraft Legends. None of those had been seen before the Xbox Bethesda showcase, which is a year from when we expect them to come out. So February next year, they're going to drop games that are going to drop the start part of 2024. There's a massive pipeline that Xbox, Microsoft are going to have lined up. If this deal for Activision and Blizzard goes through, you're going to have even more stuff in the pipeline as well.
Did you see the tweets that came out? And I can't tell you who did it. It was probably someone just making it up, but they done the kind of the games newly into Game Pass. And they had like Call of Duty, Call of Duty Ghosts, like all the Call of Duty,
the whole back history of it.
Oh my god! And you're just looking, you're like, hang on a minute, there is like 20 to 30 odd games there.
Yeah, I mean that's like what they could add in a Game Pass if this all goes through. Because not a massive Call of Duty player, but you've got all Call of Duty dropped in. If you go into the PC side of things, you're going to get games like League of Legends, not League of Legends. Yeah, League of Legends. Sorry, I was getting mixed up because it was What's the game I'm thinking?
Legends,
no, Warcraft. Warcraft, that's what I'm thinking of. Not League of Legends. League of Legends was the Riot one that's just went through that they're putting all of them in. StarCraft will also be gone as well. Called that first, by the way. We'll just put that out there. So there's a massive section of games between there. Overwatch, we know we're going to get free to play, but that's just because of the model that they're going for. So I would imagine there's going to be perks to having it on Xbox or having it through PC, but loading it through your Xbox sort of browser type idea.
There'll be loads of little.
There'll be skins, there'll be like tags, there'll be emotes. Just that type of game lends itself to that. The future for Xbox, it's tricky because there's no denying they need the AAAs. They need the massive first party games. They need to knock Starfield at the water. Redfall needs to be amazing. Avowed needs to be amazing. Senua's Saga need to be amazing. They can't get away from the fact that that's what they're lacking. And if you're being perfectly honest, PlayStation do a better job with their exclusives.
Well, I think
so far.
But they also mentioned that, Sony and PlayStation do, as you've mentioned, like the best single player experience within their first party titles. You know, and as we said, hands down, yes, they are. Everybody talks about them. Have Xbox tried to copy? Do they need to copy them with the fact that they've got so many different games? Everyone's always going to be compared, but for some reason, Nintendo never gets compared with anyone's Nintendo.
But it's a handheld console, so that's why it doesn't get counted as one of the big consoles. The problem with it is you look at this roadmap, for example, and the games that Xbox have brought out for the first party: Wasteland, Ori, Bleeding Edge, Gears Tactics, Flight Simulator, Battletoads, Tell Me Why, Psychonauts, Forza, Halo Infinite. That's the ones that are out. Would you class any of them as a game of the year contender? I'm not.
What you're judging it, but that's what you're judging it on, isn't it? Are you judging it on?
But are you going to judge? Are you going to judge God of War on anything other than how good a game it is?
Yeah,
and that's where Microsoft are. I don't think they're overly bothered about it, but they're always going to get that comparison, and they're always going to get that negative held against them, that they don't have that. I need to buy an Xbox because I want to play X
game,
and that's what they'll always get flung at them. They'll never, because like talking about my mate Graham, he's like, there's no reason for me to pick up an Xbox just now because there's not an individual game that he desperately wants to play that's only on Xbox. And I retort back to him saying, Sniper Elite 5, game we've just paid £55 for, was in Game Pass and we could have both played it and saved ourselves money. And he was like, yeah, that's great, but where's my big game that I want to just jump into and play? And I was like, I hold my hands up. There is nothing as it stands right now.
But then is that taste of game. So I don't own a PlayStation. And I've never felt, the only game that has made me feel that I must buy a PlayStation is Spider-Man.
And the thing is,
if that's the only game though,
and I can see that. I bought the PS4 before I had a PS4 before I had an Xbox One, and I bought it not for exclusives, but I bought it just for just for the fact that it seemed to be the better console of the two. When it then came to the next generation, as bad as it sounds, like I got the Xbox first. That was my priority. I know it came out first, but I would have prioritized getting my Xbox over my PlayStation. But I know that I couldn't have missed getting a PlayStation because of God of War, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So even just those two games. Then when you factor in games like the Uncharted series, if it's your cup of tea, games even all noise like Detroit Become Human, fantastic game, only on PlayStation. I've had a total mind blank of other PlayStation exclusive games. Last of Us. There's certain games where if you like that type of game, it's well worth picking up both consoles. And I feel like Xbox needs to do more to make it, you could buy a PlayStation and play this, but we've also got Starfield, and look at how amazing this game is. Yeah. And by the way, you finish putting your 150 hours in a Starfield, we've got 600 games in Game Pass that you can pick up and play as well as part of your monthly subscription.
Yeah.
And that's what they're missing. They've got Game Pass and the collection side of it nailed. They've done Netflix for games and they've smashed it out of the park. PlayStation are playing catch up on that, and they probably won't catch up on them because Xbox have put too many things in place between everywhere that you can play it, the cloud gaming. Now what they need to do is they need to focus on, God of War's great, come play Contraband, it's much better, or come play Avowed, it's even better. They need that. They need to be able to go, well, there's your game of the year contender. there's ours. Beat it.
Well, possibly, this might happen because, oh God, I was trying to think of a really good segue for this.
Don't work.
Gamescom. Yeah, it did work. Gamescom is coming back to Europe,
Woohoo!
and it's in person. So potentially we may see some new Xbox games that are the ones that will sell consoles. So if you didn't know, Tom Warren tweeted out saying, Microsoft confirmed Xbox will be at Gamescom in August on the show floor. Fans in Europe and around the world can expect updates on some announced games coming to Xbox in the next 12 months and a chance to hang out as a community again, in brackets, in person. This also goes off the back of another tweet that has mentioned that E3 2023 is going to be an in-person event again. So woohoo, we are able to go out, meet people. Oh, I was going to say touch people, high five people, and play games all together in person.
You paying for the tickets, Dan, yeah? And the flights?
What, for the touching? Yeah. Yeah, so it's a good thing. Hopefully, we're going to get back to normality again. Companies are going to see the benefit of people meeting in person, and yeah, hopefully we'll see games that will make people say, I need to buy an Xbox Series X because I saw blah, blah, blah at E3 2023.
Yeah, definitely. And not just, I've got a catalogue of games I can play if I buy Xbox.
Yeah, I suppose.
And that's
is that a selling point? Are they? I'm not even going to go with that one. Yeah, we'll see. We shall wait and see. On that bombshell, can you fancy plugging me up?
I always fancy plugging you up, Daniel. It's the highlight of my week.
Go for it, sunshine.
Stretch out. So, start to talk, work our way down for a change. Patreon.com/Xbox Tavern. If you want to support us with your hard-earned money, we would be eternally grateful for that. Shout out to our superstar supporter, Beth. Thank you very much for your contributions to the show.
We're not worthy.
Spreadshirt, spreadshirt.com/users/Xbox Tavern. We have a few different types of looks up there. We've got our Black Mike one that I think we've went OTT with them at Styles, 131 different items that you can pick up for it. Nice. Dan's got some of his beers that you can pick up if you want to rock the Chocolate Bear 80 merch. Apple Podcasts, same with Spotify, 5 stars to review for us. That'd be great. The more 5 stars, the more popular we get, more people it reaches out to, more listeners get spotter content for yourselves. Written reviews, xboxtavern.com. So there's been a few going up this week. Do you have something to say, Daniel?
I was just going to look what came up, and you were quicker than I was. So
sorry, I'm used to being faster than most.
Freshly Frosted was reviewed by Jay. We also have Broken Mind, which is up, and Sonic Origins that have been reviewed by the team. So you can go check them out. And also a very great feature that I think every month Jay writes out his ones for you to watch for each month. So right now we've got July's ones to watch. So go over, have a peruse, and see what you like and let us know.
Definitely. See what you could be picking up to play in this lovely weather that we're having.
Yeah.
Especially if it's got cloud gaming, just outside, nice little drink, console, sorted.
Parasol.
Parasol, not parasol. Reviews, trips and ticks over at youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official, where we are every Sunday at around 8 p.m.
Yes.
Thank you. Social media, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Reddit, Ask Jeeves, Tumblr, whatever it may be. Xbox Tavern. Dan's face will be popping up on all of them because he loves to get out in his shorts. One that we've not got on the list, but I just remembered. Insert Coin Clothing. Daniel is rocking some of the merch.
Hello, darling.
Get 20% off with the most confusing promo code in the world. Xbox Tavern 22 for 20% off.
So for the whole of 2022, you can use code Xbox Tavern 22 for 20% off.
Boom.
That's how you do that one.
That's how the brains behind the operation explains it. And last but not least, our Discord is in our show notes. Best place for that is you keep up to date with all our tweets, see anything going on in the world of Xbox Tavern.
Excellent.
Consider yourself plugged.
I feel well and truly stuffed. Thank you. Right, let's get into something a little different.
Just a small bit of repetition in this week.
Tiny bit. So, we are on the trend of Game of the Year through the years, and this time we're on 2010. Myself and Ross are going to go last. We're going to read out, obviously, our missing folk, and there will be a little bit later a video to come out, and we'll have this all ensembled nicely so you can just see the trailers and everything else that they talk about. So I'm going to jump into Jamie's one first. So he has got Metro 2033 as his Game of the Year of 2010. He also says there are some honorable mentions. As always, we don't like to do things by halves. We need to throw as many games on there as we can. He has added Darksiders, Limbo, which is a fantastic game, and Singularity. Those are some astounding picks. 2010 was a very, very good year off the back of 209 and off the back of 208. They are some pretty good years. Ross, do you want to read out one of the next ones? Who would you like?
I suppose we could all just incorporate them into our ones as well, because we've all seemed to have had quite a bit of train of thought. So I'll pick up Gray's, because Gray's went with the same as me. I was going to pick the same as you and Ian, and then when I'd seen the show notes you had already went for it, I thought, well, we're going to agree anyway, so I'll look at something different. So I went all on Gray's train of thought, and I went for Fallout New Vegas. 3 was fantastic. I think we had it in the show. Was it last week, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it could be.
We all talked how highly Fallout 3 was good. The companions, the wasteland that it was set in, and that. And sort of New Vegas just takes it even further. Great soundtrack, great storyline with the courier. The DLC
Great
in
setting.
Yeah, the Sierra Nevada desert, Vegas, the surrounding areas. The DLCs in that game were outstanding. You had the one with the Sierra Madre Casino and the explosive colours and the ghost type things. You had Lonesome Road, which I'm going to get this mixed up because I always do. Lonesome Road, I'm sure, was the other courier.
Do you know what? I can't tell you any of them because
I'm sure the other one was
I never did the DLCs.
You missed it. Some of them were fantastic. I'm sure Lonesome Road was the other courier. Old World Blues was the... I always get these mixed up. There was one of them that was to do with a science centre, and you had brains and robots. And then the other one was the enemy of Kaiser. Well, it's Caesar, but they call him Kaiser in the game. The guy with the bandaged face and the awesome guns. And you were dealing with like the tribes. The DLCs for this game were outstanding. Characters as well, where just some of the companions that you could get, playing through it the first time, and the main route from the first place you start to the second place you need to go gives you a massive big area to explore, and you think, oh, this Quarry Junction, this could be quite a good place to explore. It's like 7 death claws all in this one area, and you don't expect it. You walk in and they all just appear and you go, fuck.
I have maybe made a mistake.
Mistakes were made. But no, great story. Liked how you've got the different units you can go for: Brotherhood, Mr. House, the NCR, Caesar's Legion. Yeah, love the game. Best Fallout that they've produced so far. And
but
can
not
only...
from Bethesda, was it?
No, this was the Obsidian one. So fingers crossed we get a New Vegas 2 on the engine that they done 4 and 76 on. But yeah, like what we were saying about Starfield, go back to the same system they had in New Vegas. I don't need to have voice actors speaking about it. Stick to what they had in New Vegas. You had your text lines, and it allowed more dialogue, like depending on how you picked it, because obviously you could, if you had science, charisma, barter, speech, whatever it is, you got better answers, stuff like that. They did the same sort of thing in 4, and you had like if it was red, you weren't going to have a chance of getting it. Yellow, a bit more. Green, you were guaranteed.
Yeah.
Have it so that it was just text. Have the NPCs voiced, but just have your character so that you get to put your spin on what you think the character is.
Yeah.
Fallout New Vegas Fallout New Vegas 2 would print money. Or D&D and Game Pass would just see subscriptions go.
Yep. Sorry, I had to mute there. I had some car and some nutter going past. Excellent. And I picked one that Ian picked as well, which I would imagine you would have picked, as you mentioned, Mass Effect 2. Yes. This was, I think I started on Mass Effect 2 and then jumped into 1.
So I didn't know about Mass Effect until Mass Effect 2 came out, but I had the patience to go back and do 1 first, then play 2. But I didn't, like, 2, seeing everything advertised for 2 was what me got caught up on it. I went, oh shit, I've missed the first one. Back, played that, and then hit 2.
But it's rough going back from starting at 2 and going back. That whatever the car is,
Mako.
Mako.
The Mako was brilliant. Fuck you.
Ooh, it was rough. It was rough. And then am I right? This is where I did put a question here, and because I couldn't remember, was Mass Effect 2 is when they introduced was that when they started throwing in horde mode? So that was the co-op multiplayer. Was that
no,
Mass
that was
Effect
3.
That was 3. I enjoyed that.
I'm sure it was. Yeah, it was Mass Effect 3, and you could basically, it had like loot boxes and that in it, and you unlocked weapons for, as you say, horde mode type idea.
Yeah,
but that was 3.
So 2, I enjoyed the story. It had, I think this was I don't know whether this was the first one that I played or like Fallout. And Fallout I had to play a few times to kind of get going because I wasn't used to the kind of total text-based reading, playing the game, reading. And I believe, I could be right, Mass Effect was the first one that I played and carried on playing throughout, and it wasn't this kind of, it's one of these games where I have to read.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big reader back in 210.
Everything was voiced, so all your answers that you had Shepard or whatever character it was saying.
You still had to kind of click around. But I mean, I enjoyed it. It was vibrant. The color palette was a lot better than 1. It was more kind of visually.
Yeah, they went like the places that they went and the color. It was less. I've always found Mass Effect 1 quite grainy. It's got like a film grain type over it.
It's almost like going from watching a film in the 70s.
Yeah, it's weird.
Then watching something in the 90s, 2000, where you can see like, wow, look at that lighting is so much better.
And the
yellow.
The first opening scene of Mass Effect 2 is probably the best cinematic cutscene of any game ever made, because you are literally picking your jaw up off the floor going, what the fuck just happened?
And the DLCs weren't bad either, were they?
DLCs were brilliant. I love the DLCs for 2. 2 had some really good DLCs. 3 was good as well. But 2 had some really good DLCs. The one to do with, I always get these fucking mixed up because you've got the Omega one, which was for 3, and the one that I'm trying to think of for Mass Effect 2 has totally escaped my head, so I'm gonna have to Google it.
Is it the one that's not in the collection?
No, that was the one that was in the first one. Where am I? Kasumi, that's it was the Master Thief. Then you had the Larry the Shadow Broker as well, where you had to help Liara. Those were fucking amazing DLCs.
And you get like a really good gun from the Shadow Broker as well.
You get loads for the Shadow Broker one as well. Kasumi, not if you haven't played the DLCs or if you've got the option to pick up the Legendary Edition, play it and get Kasumi Goto in your team because her skills are fucking incredible. She's well worth the playthrough for it. She's probably one of my favourite characters in the whole story.
Something I need to go back to, but have I got the time?
And another one that I missed the first time round was Arrival. And Arrival explains to you what happens at the end of 2, start of 3. So there's an enemy in 2, the Batarians, that don't feature really in 3 because they are wiped out. This explains how they got wiped out.
Nice.
And it's not the biggest DLC. You're lucky if it's an hour in total, but it's really good to bridge the gap between the
give
two
you that
games.
set piece for,
And
number 3.
I didn't really know anything about it. And the other thing that they done well, which was 2 going into 3, was Genesis, which is the same sort of idea as what Dragon Age done. So you could go through like the interactive comic and fill in your choices. So if you hadn't played the games,
Okay,
it allowed you to then like. So the main things it was like, did you sleep with anybody in the first game? Was it Cade and Ashley, or was it like Cade and Ashley, Liara, whatever it was, so you could romance? Did you save the Arachni Queen? What happened to Rex when he's wanted to cure the genophage? Who did you blow up, Ashley or Caden? Anybody that saved Caden, is their he'd looked at? Did you save the council at the battle, or did you let their ship get shot? And then who did you pick to represent the council, Anderson or Adina? Yeah. So if you've not played the first one, boom, straight in it, and that's you've got the second one set up. And then I'm sure then the second Genesis, you've got like, who did you recruit? Did you get all of them loyal? Did you upgrade your ship? Did you have a romance? What did you do with the collector base? And that then affects the story of 3. So if you've never played them, it's quite handy just to play that and jump into it.
Nice. I do miss my Mass Effects.
I can't wait for the new one, whatever it's going to be. Whenever we hear about it,
I want Shepard back.
Liara's too old. She's at least 300 or 400 years. In fact, no, that's still a kid. She's at least 800 or 900 years old in this because you can see all the crow's legs at her feet. So she's if she's in it, Shepard isn't.
I just want him back. He was in stasis. Honest. Yes. Right. Let's shift on. Let's get into our Project Game Pass.
Let's do that.
I've noticed we haven't given our reviews on Sniper Elite 5, have we?
Yeah, we did. You weren't here.
We did.
Yeah.
Good. Thank
I was an up. The Grey was a down because it's sniper. It's stealth. Ian was a middle to up, and then he's played more. He's now a middle to down. Yeah. And Jay was up.
Okay, well, I'm a down.
Yeah.
Poo poo.
Yeah. Not your type of game.
Nope, 100% not. But what is my type of game? Fall Guys. I do enjoy playing with that bean.
Everybody enjoys a bit of playing with the bean.
Exactly. Have you jumped into the new event that I can't think off the top of my head what it is, but they had...
There's a new one?
There's a new event, yeah. It seems like they finished the Spartan event.
Well, that was quite a quick event.
Jumped straight into another event, which, as I said, I can't tell you what it is. We've got some footage and gameplay up at on our YouTube channel where you're watching this, or if you're listening to us in your lovely, beautiful earlobes, go over to Xbox Tavern. No, go over to youtube.com/Xbox Tavern official. We've got shorts, we've got gameplay, we've got all things that you'll definitely want to keep an eye on in the next few days, week or so.
We have a lot coming.
Yeah, even cramp. So we will be talking about what our thoughts on the game at the end of the month, and then we'll be choosing a new game come at the end of July into August.
The figures for this game are unbelievable.
Well, yeah, the first 2 weeks was 50 million, isn't it? Like 200 million users in a month.
Benji Sales put it up as well. Fall Guys had 50 million players in 2 weeks. Warzone had 50 million players in a month. Apex had 50 million in a month, and Fortnite had 45 million in 100 days. That is nuts.
And it shows the power of going free to play.
Yeah, definitely. The people are arguing like it should have been on all consoles for the get-go. And yeah, it should have. It wouldn't have done these figures because this is getting a whole influx of new people jumping on it. PC, Xbox, Switch, all jumping on it.
Yeah. Totally. I still haven't got my my pack, or there hasn't been a notification to say my founders pack, or not founders pack, but if you played the game previously. I will be doing a video at some point. So if you've got Twitch and Twitch Prime, Prime Gaming, whatever
Prime
it's
Gaming
called, you can get
Quite
there's
a
a Fall
lot.
Guys. Yeah, there's a Fall Guys cosmetic pack. Click that.
I think there's been quite a few, isn't there? There's 5, I'm sure.
There's been a few. I've been clicking them randomly just because I had it on PC and only played it like twice. But you need to do something in the game for you to accept all the kind of skins that have come into the game. At the moment, there's one on Game Pass, Robo Rabbit. You get kind of the top and tail and the rabbit hat, rabbit ears, etc., on Game Pass, but you have to accept it within game. So then your game filters and all your skins come. And I'll do a video in that. If I forget, hopefully I won't forget.
We are not worthy.
Yeah, I'll do a video how to do that because it is in the menu system, and then you click a button and then it comes up with a code, and then you click your code into your Prime Gaming, and then that's it. Ta-da! Magically it all works and you get all the skins. So yeah, look out for that. And look out at the end of the month when we'll be letting you know what we think of Fall Guys. But
I think it's going to be pretty unanimous.
Yeah, spoiler alert. I think it's going to be quite good. What have you been playing this week, Ross?
Because shockingly, I haven't put it in the show notes. That was rather silly of me. I've had quite a simple week of gaming this week. I haven't played too much that's mind blowing. I've played a bit of my go-to football manager, but we won't drag the podcast on with any of that. I've played a bit of Odyssey, played a bit of FIFA, but I have jumped into, and it was only recently because I only just managed to grab it at the last part of the week because it came in the Game Pass. I have been playing, it's very apt for the time of the year that it is, Match Point Tennis.
Ooh.
So I know not everybody's cup of tea, but I thought
something different. It's something.
I thought it's something different. We've got
players.
We've got Wimbledon. So if whilst in Rome, why not?
As a raging Australian, or
hey,
did you go for the?
You can't
Croatian?
You can't beat a wee bit of Nick Kyrgios. All right, he's maybe not.
I think he's hilarious.
He's not everybody's cup of tea, but at the same time, he's good quality. He's funny. He brings a bit of edge to the game. He brings a bit of interest to the game. You've got boring characters who Federer is just crisp, nothing wrong with him. He's the model citizen. Nadal's
I love this guy.
Spanish guy.
Hilarious.
He's got all the things going for him. Djokovic is like the machine. Nobody's got any interest. And then you've got Kyrgios, who's just like, I don't like you. You're a dick. I'm going to tell you you're a dick. I'm going to tell the crowd they're dicks because they keep on shouting. You made the wrong call, umpire, so you're a dick. And that's it. He's no apologies. He is what he is. And if you don't like it, tough shit.
And he doesn't mind paying the fine as well.
Oh,
I saw
no.
an interview with him and he was like, oh, yeah, they tell me it goes to charity, but yeah, whatever. And they're like, how much is it? And he has not mentioned how much his fines are.
Yeah, he doesn't care. And I have nothing but respect for the guy. I think he's brilliant. I think he's a great character. I think he's brilliant for the sport. This is what tennis needs. I mean, you have, golf has the same sort of problem. See, when they had Tiger Woods, it was brilliant because Tiger Woods was Tiger Woods, and holy shit, Tiger Woods was like a megastar, and everybody wanted to know what Tiger Woods was. Who do they have now? Brooks Koepka. Ooh. Exactly. That's my point. You don't know who he is because he's as dull as fucking dishwater. Whereas once you start having these stars that are actually entertaining and people want to know about them, it's very much boxing. Boxing's got some great talented boxers. Brilliant. Nobody's as entertaining as Tyson Fury. People talk about boxing because of Tyson Fury.
Fair enough. Let's reel it back. Let's get into the tennis. Tell me about your tennis game.
It's just it's better. I think, what was the one I reviewed for the website? I cannot
I can't remember.
I reviewed a tennis game for the website and I cannot remember what it was. And it was like, in comparison to this, it was terrible. This one's much better. The pacing of it is far better. The gameplay is far better. The characters, for the fact that you've actually got the characters, is much nicer. Really good game. Really enjoying it. I've always been a fan of tennis games. Going all the way back to like Anna Kournikovas tennis, Top Spin, Virtua Tennis, things like that.
Tennis World Tour 2 was the one
that was what it was. No, really good game. Enjoying it so far. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But it's a nice wee tennis game. Probably enjoying it more because we're during Wimbledon. Had it maybe been another time, another part of the year, I'd have been less praiseworthy of it. But no,
And is it more virtual tennis or is it more kind of real?
the thing is, I don't think there's been a real. There's not been like a simulation tennis game. It's quite hard to make a simulation tennis game. Because the way that tennis games play, they play very much like Madden, and Madden doesn't like even if you put it to the hardest difficulty, Madden doesn't play like a real game, like a real American football game. So it's got a lot more to it than that. Obviously, you've just got like your standard stuff. There's a bit more stuff that you can do, like analog stick movements and stuff like that. But no, I've, like I say, really enjoy it. It's not going to break my game of the year talk, but it's in a time where we're sitting with quite a barren spell of games at the moment. It's a nice wee game. Some nice characters in it. The likeness is not too bad. It's not horrific. But no. If I was to get a rating, probably about a 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
So decent, but not going to be everybody's cup of tea.
Cool. Sounds good. I was going to try it, but just didn't get around to downloading it.
It's a small download. It's only 4 and a bit gig, so it's not. It's not big to actually like jump in and try it.
Oh, I might try it. I myself have been playing a game that has just entered Game Pass recently, and I decided to try Far Cry 5.
So had you ever played it before now?
No, the first time I tried it. So I bought it. Actually, it's a lie. Someone gifted it to me, which I paid it for. No, because it was on sale. I was like, oh, I really must buy this game. I've been wanting to buy it for a while. I like the idea of the bad guy, Joseph Seed.
Yeah, the cult type idea.
Yeah, so good. You know, the whole like, oh my god. So when I started, so I played the first 20 minutes, maybe half an hour at a push. And the for starters, you don't really touch the controller for the first 5 minutes.
No, you don't.
However, the set piece for them to come up with Far Cry 5. Oh my god. You go in, you arrest Joseph, the cult leader. I'm totally spoiling this, but
yeah, it's only
out, so tough.
Yeah, exactly. And it's only the start part as well.
Yeah, so it's going to happen. So you go in, you arrest him, you bring him onto your chopper, bring him to the chopper. You go in your helicopter, you go up. All of a sudden, everybody starts jumping on this helicopter as it's taking off. Like you push one guy out and he falls. Some fucking nutcase climbs up the front of the helicopter, basically goes for the blades, the propeller, chops him in half, takes the plane down. The plane crashes. Like amazing. And all the time Joseph is there going, you will not take me, you know, just spouting off what he thinks is going to happen, or what does happen essentially. And then walking out, the Lord, I was in the Lord's thing. His plan was not to take me now. And then gets up and walks off as you kind of fucking limp out the crash. And as his people kind of descend on you. Flipping amazing. It's one of the first games that I've seen a set piece like that and gone, I've completed the game already. Oh shit, no, shit is going down. Shit is going down.
Haven't touched the controller. I'm going to get the completion achievement.
Well, yeah, I was like that. Yes. Really, really good. It's on Game Pass, so it's air quotes free to play. I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said, it's only been half hour, but it is a typical Ubisoft game. Here's a little area. Clear out A, clear out B, do C. There's a tower for Z that you need to go to Y. So if you know what you're getting yourself into, it's a perfect game. And again, it's one of those games you could sink a lot of time into. I also believe you can not do everything and still complete it, if I vaguely remember people telling me.
Shit tons to do in it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's quite good. Graphics are good. Not overly keen on the gun. So as you're looking down the sight,
yeah, the guns. I struggle with the gunplay a wee bit on it as well.
Yeah. So I like the story. I like the premise of it all. The guns are really putting me off.
Yeah.
Just because it looks just feels funky. Is probably the best way I can describe it.
It's weird for the guns. Like I try, because am I right in saying you also get a bow and arrow?
Yes,
Yeah,
but I didn't
you
pick it up.
see. I did because I enjoyed the sort of compound bow type idea more. Because the guns, I don't know. I like playing it more stealthy as it is, but even with that, something about the guns, I just didn't enjoy using them as much.
Yeah, it's almost as if they need a sight. Looking down the iron sights just doesn't feel right, or feels too big, and you can't see the person that you're meant to shoot.
Yeah.
So whether I'll keep on going with it, I don't know.
Some of the characters in it, it's been that long since I played it, I can't remember. But one of the family, the girl that's part of the family, and she deals.
I can't tell you the name. I remember looking at the map, and it had four. It's the four. No, there's three of them, and then there's him, isn't there?
Yeah, and she's got like. When you start interacting with her part of the story, the game gets fucking nuts because she deals a lot with like the drug side of things. So anytime you're near anything that she does with her drugs, you start hallucinating with stuff. So like you can be sitting there running along and you can see her and you go, all right, I'm heading towards her, and then next thing you know, the person that you think is her is actually a bear. And you're running towards it, and next thing this bear's like there in front of you, and you're like, fuck.
About spin. Run the other way.
So, and anybody who's played any of the like Far Cry things, like they know like bears and shit like that, you don't fuck with them because they are bastards to try and kill.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like she's a good part of it. The storyline is quite good. I struggled with it a wee bit because I found it a bit repetitive. Obviously, as you were saying, it is very Ubisoft. Go this place, do this. Then you have to go to this place and unlock this area. To unlock that area, you have to do X, Y, and Z.
Well, you have to do what you've done in the first area to
exactly.
Unlock the next one to go to the next one. Too.
And it's not unbearable, but for the size of the game it is and how much they've got in it, it does get a bit
tedious. Yeah, tedious. Like I was saving basically people who have just been captured or getting beaten up by the cult, which I can't think of their name at the moment. But that's semantic. It doesn't matter about that. And you're just like, okay, once I shoot someone in the head once to save someone, you can see what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
So whether it'll take my time, I don't know. I want it to because, as I said, the whole cult and this person being the leader just totally appeals to me.
Yeah, I think I could probably put another 5 hours into it and complete it. That's how close I am to the end.
Ooh.
But I think I'm sure I co-op played it. So I think that was one of the reasons that I enjoyed it more, because I played it co-op and it was quite good just because of the amount of destruction and chaos you can cause in the game. Playing it in co-op's brilliant.
Well, you can see that. So even the kind of the couple of missions I did, you obviously attack it from as you get there, you're like, well, I can't. This is my point of entry, but you can then see, because you get companions as well, and you can send them off to go do something, and you can all of a sudden see like, oh fucking hell, it'd be awesome if someone was coming around the back.
Yeah.
You take, 3, 2, 1, you take that guy out, I take that one, and then we both pop and get the other guy who's in the tower. But yeah, I'm just frustrated because I know it could be so good. Have you been playing anything else?
I haven't. No, like I say, my week's been taken up with. I've been delving far too far into Football Manager.
Just ready for the new season.
Just trying different things, really. I'm wanting to get a network game started up, but I don't know if it's going to happen. So I'm sort of like trying to just prepare just in case it does. And I've got like 2 notebooks sitting beside me. We like fucking just one's for tactics, one's for players. So yeah, I've been exactly. I've been delving far too far into Football Manager to focus on anything else this week.
Ouch. I will be. I purchased the game. Was it this week? So I purchased Cuphead. Yeah, I haven't played much of it. There'll be some videos coming up shortly.
My sanity is not strong enough to play that game.
Yeah, so I will be talking about Cuphead next week. Yeah. So yeah, that would be interesting to see how frustrated I'll be.
Dan's going to come into the podcast in about 3 more weeks, and the small bit of silver that he's got just there is going to be like,
mate. Yeah, it'll just be like that.
Yeah, exactly, the whole thing. He's basically Philip Schofield. That's him.
Yeah. talking about plugs, can you let me know what is new to Game Pass?
I can indeed, because July's starting off to be a busy month for Game Pass.
It was quiet all of a sudden. They've come thick and fast, haven't they?
They dropped a fucking shitload in Game Pass, and they've not sort of left off the month because there's still quite a few to still. So I'll give up to what's been out this week, or what came out last week, and also what we're going to expect this week. So there is quite a lot. So strap in. As Daniel was saying, Far Cry 5, July 1st, console, cloud, and PC. Last Call BBS, July 5th on PC. Solasta, Crown of the Magister, July 5th on console. Gray will be happy to hear that there is some Yakuza games dropping in. So Yakuza 0, Kiwami 1 and Kiwami 2 have all came out on July 5th on console, PC and cloud. DJ Max Respect V, July 7th, console, PC, cloud. Matchpoint Tennis Championships, July 7th on console. Road 96, July 7th, console, PC, cloud. Garden Story, July 12th. So these are the ones coming up this week. Console and PC. Escape Academy, July 14th, console and PC. My Friend Peppa Pig on July 14th, console, PC and cloud. Oh.
Excellent timing for the children being off.
Oh no, it gets even better. We ramp it up again after that. You'll know why.
Go on.
Overwhelm on July 14th, PC, and then the one, the only, Paw Patrol the movie, Adventure City Calls, July 14th.
Marshall, Rubble, Sky.
Marshall's the one, man. I've got a Chase. He's currently sitting next to me. But Marshall, can't beat that wee Dalmatian.
So this is the first, not that game, the previous one that was in, or that is still in Game Pass. Can't remember what it is the first game my son completed alone.
Can't be a bit of Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
July 14th, console, PC, and cloud. And then the one as sad as it sounds that I am looking forward to. Power Wash Simulator, July 14th, console, PC, and cloud. These sort of like stupid little simulator games, I fucking love. That's that House Flipper one that I played last week. The House Creator, or House Builder, I think it's called. Power Wash Simulator, PC Build Simulator, Car Mechanic Simulator.
Did you not do lawnmower?
I've not. I missed Lawnmower Simulator. But those sort of games, stupid, fucking stupid. I've got a power fucking washer in my shed. I want to go and do the real life shit, but something
which
about
you won't do.
Which fuck that. Yeah, fucking covered in mud when you're doing power washing. It's a fucking nightmare. But the games, it just sounds so satisfying about them. Just like I think the trailer for this that we're advertising is like it was a big van and the power wash like Game Pass into the side of them. I'm sure
Excellent.
It is. I'll look at it and I'll put a clip in when we edit the show. But I'm sure that they put it up on a van like Game Pass. These sort of stupid simulator games I fucking love. And then there's more coming, but we'll save that for closer to time because I know G will want to be coming back on the show to talk about one that me and him are looking forward to in particular.
Yeah, I've put a timestamp in there for you, so you can put your jet washer in there. I'll give you a breather. I will be the downer of the dumps. So games that are leaving Game Pass. So on the 15th of July, I'm just going to roll these all out. We've got Atomic Crops, Carrion, Children of Mortar, Crisis Tales, and Lethal League Blaze, all leaving Game Pass. The Nature of the Beast. Carrion's quite good. If you like achievements as well, that's supposedly not that long to get a full completion.
That's
as well.
the like 16-bit type idea, isn't
16-bit, yeah, you are the monster. You're going around a laboratory and just eating humans, destroying doors. If you want to pick up any of these games, it's 20% off before it leaves Game Pass. So if you think it's worth it, obviously jump in.
And I think Gray was quite high on Christ Tales as well. That had quite an interesting game mechanic where you could do like it split the game into like a triangle, and you had like the past, the present, and the future.
Yeah.
Gray, I know, was quite high on that, so jump into that, and that's cloud based as well because I've played a bit of it on the cloud as well. So
it's cloud based as well. Right, nice. Would you like to take us home with Games with Gold?
I shall indeed. Usually you take somebody home before you plug them down, but it's fine.
Depends what I like.
Project High Rise Architects Edition was available June 16th to July 15th. Beasts of Marvella Island on available July 1st to the 31st. Relicta, one that's coming out this week, available July 16th to August 15th. Thrillville Off the Rails, July 1st to the 15th, so that'll be coming out this week. And Torchlight, available from the 16th to the 31st of July.
Nice. Some lovely games. They're free. Grab them. And remember, as we said, Thrillville, if you grab it, it will be yours forever. So let's get into the sad parts of the show. It is time to go home. Thank you ever so much. If you made it this far, you are a true champion. Please make sure you follow us over on Twitter and Facebook at Xbox Tavern. See all our written reviews and some even nonsense that we sometimes put up. Not all the time, but that's at xboxtavern.com. You can find all our quick links in our show notes. I had to read that. I was like, what on earth is all that about? Make sure you also follow us on YouTube. There is plenty of content coming out every day. We've got 2 videos a day that are dropping next week. Why not see some nonsense? See what I've come up with and the team. You can follow me if you wish at ChocolateBear80. You can follow Ross at
Scottish Gruff.
And take care and be good. Nanu.
What?
See ya.
See ya.